He's using glitter, what looks like glitter on paper, plastic paper cups. This is a drain stop. Someone saw thimbles somewhere. Oh yeah, here's a thimble here. One more before we get to the climax. If you could back up a little bit. So this isn't an oil refinery, but it's the alternate to oil energy, which is nuclear. So this is a nuclear power plant. And I'm not sure, to me, these look like baking pans that he's modifying. And then he's got Japanese products, so I think he's referencing the earthquake they had there, the tsunami earthquake, and then, you know, that led to, the nuclear meltdown in at least one of the nuclear power plants. Okay, so this is David LaChapelle trying to be a serious artist, but this is the David LaChapelle that's like a traveling artist. That really would be documented. If you're shorter, please make your way to the front so that you can see this. In case you had any doubts that he was gay, this should dispel those doubts. Now, the one thing that I find hard to believe, well, here's what I don't find hard to believe. He actually built this house just for this photo. So he built this house, this sort of cutaway house. And the part that I find hard to believe, but the gallery swears is true, is that he shot all of this at one time. That he didn't, he didn't shoot one room and then another one separate, with different models. Like, that's what I would have guessed. And the gallery swears that he assembled all of these people together and he shot the one shot. And as much as I like the oil refineries, and I mean, this made my best exhibits tour last week. I think it's one of the top 7 exhibits. I would have loved it if the entire show was about this. Like, I would have loved different scenes from this house. This gives you a sense of David LaChapelle's sensibility when he was at Vogue, except, of course, they're not wearing a stitch of clothing, so you can't sell any fashion. I mean, he never had he did as explicit as he could get away with in Vogue, but never this much, because, they have certain standards. But this was the kind of sensibility that would make people stop turning the page, because he was so different as a fashion photographer than other, regular fashion photographers that were highlighting clothes. For him, it was, I think that's what makes gay people special as artists, is that, because they were cast out, that they have a view of the world that's separate in some ways. And I wonder, as gay people become assimilated as they are gay people going to lose that perspective? Like other groups, like African Americans, Jewish people, are often the world's great artists because they're looking at the society from the outside in, which I think is what this artist did. So we'll see what happens, how it develops. But it's absolutely insane what he's doing here, which is, and I say it in the most positive way. So questions or comments?